Hello, everyone. Yuri Jean Pierre here, commercial realtor in New York and New Jersey. So, today I wanted to talk about something that can make a big difference for both commercial real estate professionals and anyone looking to lease a or purchase commercial space. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more commercial real estate tips. So, now let's get into today's topic. Know your block. All right. Why great commercial real estate brokers study the street before the space. When people think about commercial real estate, they usually focus on the building. How many square feet? How much is the rent? Is there a basement? Can I vent? And truthfully, those are important questions to ask, right? But before I even look at the building, I look at something much more important: the block, the neighborhood, the area. Because the block will often tell you whether a business has a chance to succeed or struggle. Today, I wanted to teach you one of the biggest lessons I've learned in real estate, which is knowing your block before you know your space. Every block actually has a personality. Just like neighborhoods have personalities, every block has its own identity. Some blocks wake up at 6 a.m., others don't come alive until 9 p.m. Some streets are built around families, right? Others are built around tourists. Let's take Times Square area in New York, for example. Some blocks are luxury, some are convenience, some are fashion, some are nightlife. Once you understand the personality, you begin understanding the people who use that street every day. And that's where commercial real estate becomes less about the buildings and more about human behavior. Is that block a daytime block? Ask yourself, who is here at 8 a.m.? Maybe it's office workers grabbing coffee, people walking their dogs, parents dropping off their kids, construction workers, healthcare employees, for example. If that's the case, businesses like coffee shops, breakfast cafes, grab and go food, juice bar, pharmacies, and convenience stores, they will perform very well in that block because the customer is already there. You are simply serving them, right? Now ask yourself, is this a nighttime block, right? Or what happens after 6 p.m.? Does everyone disappear? Or does the neighborhood become even busier? You do have those blocks. Some blocks transform completely at night. Restaurants fill up, cocktail bars are open, comedy clubs, music venues, late night desert spots, for example. If you're placing a breakfast cafe on a block that's only active after dark, you may be fighting against the natural rhythm of that street. Ask yourself if that block is a fast fashion block. Think about places where people come to shop. You see stores that sells trendy clothes, sneakers, for example, trendy fashion in general, accessories, beauty products, right? Affordable fashion. Customers aren't necessarily spending hours there, but they're browsing, right? They're buying, they're moving in that neighborhood. That creates opportunities for complementary businesses. For example, bubble teas, desserts, jewelry, fashion jewelry, I would say, phone accessories, cosmetics, think like um, Ulta Beauty. The consumer behavior is already well established, right? Another thing you can ask yourself, is it a mom and stroller block? One of my favorite example, some streets are filled with parents. You see strollers everywhere, playgrounds nearby, schools, daycares, family apartments. Immediately, your thinking changes. Instead of opening a nightclub, you begin thinking about children's clothing, toy stores, family cafes, pediatric services, ice cream shops. Healthy food concepts are always good. Businesses that solve problems for family. Another question you can ask yourself when it comes to a block is Is it a men's suit block? These are streets where professional attires dominate. You see law firms, finance companies, luxury office buildings, tailor shops, suit retailers, upscale restaurants, dry cleaners, shoe repair stores, watch boutiques, for example. Everything that support that same customer. We have to understand that this is not an accident. It's an ecosystem. Understand the consumer first. That will help you understand that block. One mistake many entrepreneurs make is falling in love with a space. Oh, I love the storefront. I love the rent. I love the layout. But usually they never ask who walks by this storefront every single day, right? Commercial real estate isn't about what you like, it's actually about your customer needs. The consumer should influence almost every decision you make. And that's where mirroring comes in, right? One of the concepts I use all the time is called mirroring. Mirroring doesn't mean copying. What it actually means is studying success. You identify blocks that consistently perform well, you analyze them, like who are the tenants? Why are they successful? What businesses complement each other? What kind of customer shops there? How long have tenants stayed? Then you apply those lessons to another block with similar characteristics. When you do that, you're not guessing. You're literally recognizing patterns. While we at it, what is mirroring and commercial real estate? Mirroring is using proven market behavior to reduce risk. Instead of inventing something completely new, you're learning from streets that already work. You're looking at tenant mix, right? You're looking at consumer demographics, foot traffic patterns. What does it look like during the day? What does it look like at 1 o'clock? Time of day activity, pretty much. Income levels, transportation access, complementary businesses, right? When I say complementary businesses, what complements each other? Shopping behaviors, asking if this formula works here, could it work somewhere else with similar conditions? That's mirroring. Real estate is about patterns, literally. The best brokers aren't just finding vacancies, right? What we do, we recognize patterns. They know why one coffee shop thrives while another closes. They know why one restaurant has a line out the door while another sits empty. The building may look similar, the rent may even be similar, but the block is completely different. And that's the difference. So, next time, before you lease a space, before you invest, before you sign a 10-year lease, walk the block. Take a walk in the morning, walk it during lunch, for example, walk it in the evening, walk it on the weekday, and walk it on the weekend. I've had some customer that told me, I'm gonna go there this weekend. And what they did, they observe. They're looking to see who's there. What are they buying here? How long these consumers stay within each establishment? What businesses are already winning? Because when you truly understand the block, you completely understand the customer. And when you understand the customer, you will make much smarter real estate decisions. That's just a fact. So remember this, don't just lease a storefront, lease into a consumer ecosystem. That's how great commercial real estate decisions are made. And I suggest you just pretty much take that blueprint, copy, paste, and of course, bring your own flair to it, bring your own innovation, but do not try to change how things are already happening because it's already laid for you. All right. My name is Yuri Jean-Pierre. Once again, commercial real estate in New York and New Jersey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll do my best to drop another video next week. Have a good one.